It's June 22nd, 2018.
And this is Nerd Bourbon episode 55. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill.
I blipped into for a split second. I think I had like a little bit of like a stroke, and I like became like one of those radio announcers. Episode 55. This is Seth and Todd in the morning. This is Nerd Bourbon episode 55.
I've jokingly wanted to do that before, but I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It's speaking of strokes. It's a weird
This
segue.
episode of Nerdbreak.
Uh, Speaking of strokes, I was at work last night. I was working with Scotty last night, and I think I was cleaning something, and I was like, I just got this weird waft of olive oil. Just had this strong smell of olive oil, and I was like, I think that's what happens to Italians when they have a stroke. Is they is they just get like the strong scent of olive oil.
it's funny is like I've had similar situations where just like a random smell like hits my nose and I'm like, am I dying?
Yeah. It's one of those things. When I had that colon obstruction last year, I was telling you, I was like, I bet you anything. I'm like terrified that I'm gonna go into the hospital and be like, oh yeah, you've had like 4 heart attacks, 2 strokes. You're already so fucked up.
Oh no, it's the main reason I don't go to the hospital because I don't want to find out.
You don't want to find
I
out
don't want to
everything
find
that
out
is
how
wrong
fucked
with
up I am. I know I'm fucked up, and it's actually funny. Speaking of like work stories, basically is so me and my coworker were heading to our second store, and in her mind I apparently said the oldest shit I've ever said.
you. The oldest shit.
Because she's always assumed I'm just an old, like my body's just
Oh,
like I'm a
okay. So
cripple, like I'm a cripple
okay, so
basically.
you said something that like an old person would
Oh, dude,
say.
I basically said, oh shit, it's raining. That's why my knees hurt.
That's true though.
I know.
Like when it's cold or raining or whatever, that's when your physical disabilities are accentuated.
Yeah, it's because like, it's funny. Is like I wasn't even in the rain. Like I was in the building
Yeah.
and I was like, my knees are like killing me. And I walked out and I'm getting rained on. I'm like, ah,
Well, it's because of the barometric pressure. Like seriously, it's
yeah,
because of the air
yeah.
pressure. Um, man, we're a bunch of old men.
Oh, I'm already accepted this fact. Like I have accepted the fact that I'll be in pain 24/7. And
Until
I
you
even told
drop.
her like the biggest joke that I like. It's what is it? The one thing where it's like I feel like if I wake up and I'm like not in pain, I'd have to turn around to make sure like my body's there or some shit.
Make sure you didn't just die and you're just floating outside of your body or something.
Exactly.
Todd, speaking of being old men on the brink of death, we have just survived E3 2018, or more so the podcast has survived it rather. Another year down,
And
four
I
hours of
honestly didn't both these
podcasting.
episodes like so the first episode of this year's E3 was like the longest, and then the next episode broke that record.
I think it technically was a little bit shorter after I got done editing it.
Okay.
It was like a little bit short. They're both about 2 hours long.
Ugh.
And it was if you guys have never actually sat down and just talked for 2 hours, it's like hard. It's hard to just talk for 2 hours and to maintain like energy for 2 hours. And the editing process was hard on it. So it was just props to the people like the IGNs of the world and Kind of Funny and GameSpot. These people who do like huge amounts of E3 coverage. Like I can't even imagine the amount of work that goes in. Just the amount of work that we put into our E3 coverage and this shitty little podcast, this ding dong podcast
This TikTok.
ran by ran by 2 idiots. Like the amount of work that went into just this was like kind of extraordinary. So I can only imagine the work that's gone into and I was like, I thought for a second about like maybe we should take the next week off and stuff like that. But I was like, no, no, no. We're going to maintain, we've never missed an episode. We're going to maintain that. However, do be prepared. This is probably going to be kind of a short episode because, we're trying to, rest, trying to recuperate a little bit. E3 is a crazy time for us. Each episode probably took me between 5 and 6 hours of editing. And so we're definitely we're gonna take it easy this week. But we do want to talk about what we always love to talk about, Todd. What we always have rested our laurels on, as they
Mm.
say, or is it resting our yannies? Is it? I'm just kidding. Isn't that the thing? Like Laurel or Yanny or whatever? Didn't that go around
I
there
was, what the
for?
fuck are you going with?
Didn't
Yeah, I
that go around for a while
yeah, I
there?
did. What did you hear
Which one did
actually?
you hear? I always heard Laurel.
Yeah, same. I never heard
Okay.
Yanny. I was all Laurel.
Okay. There's another one that was going around where it was like based on which word you were thinking of or something like that. Like if you like it was like two words, I don't remember what the words were, but if you were thinking of one of them, you would hear that one. And then the video would loop and and if you were thinking of the other one, it would it
No, that one
was
didn't work for
weird.
me. I legit just heard like the one word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there was actually there was a joke one that was going around for a while,
Yeah.
and it was
I probably
absolutely
missed them.
hilarious. It's like what do you hear? Blah 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 blah, and it's just some dude saying penis.
It's a penis. Penis.
Exactly. It's like I was like, it actually like it caught me off guard. I was like sitting there heading to work, and I'm just like scrolling through Facebook, and I see it. I'm like, okay, let me check this out because these always amuse me, and it's just
Yeah.
penis, penis.
I was watching some God, this is a weird episode. I was watching some episode of like it was like you ever have those moments where you're just like in the living room on the couch and you fall asleep and you wake up and it's like 4 in the morning and some random show on like Adult Swim is on and you're just in this weird like fever dream state. You're like, what the fuck is this on TV?
Hmm.
Ironically, that's how I discovered Black Mirror. But but it was one of those things where I woke up and it was playing the worst episode of Black Mirror, as it turns out. But it was playing an episode of Black Mirror, and anyway, I had a moment like that where I was watching something, some kind of cartoon was on Adult Swim, and there was a character, and it was voiced by Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob,
Okay.
and he just comes up to this other character, and you just hear basically the voice of SpongeBob come up to this character and whisper in this other character's ear, "Penis, penis, penis, penis." It was so weird. Anyway, that made me think of
Fantastic.
that. Todd, video games. Uh, what are they, and what do they mean? Let's discuss.
I think
So
they
this is
are
our.
a form of art.
I am a gamer.
So
God,
if you
that
guys have
video
made it
really
this far,
should.
must realize this is the most garbage episode we'll ever do.
We've done worse. That I am a gamer video really should be watched by everybody, though.
I hate that video. Like it's terrible.
Everybody needs to see that. But Todd, we've been playing video games. Let's talk about them. Let's discuss them. It's really the only thing that we love in this world. That's the only thing that warms our cold, dead hearts.
The only thing I love more than video games is sleep.
Hmm. That's a tricky one for me. Do I love sleep
Mm,
more than video games? I mean, I do like sleep, but here's the thing: you rest so much better than I do.
well,
Like,
I don't rest. I more like just pass the time.
yeah, but I'm just saying you literally sleep better than I do.
Eh,
Like you literally sleep longer hours and deeper than I do. And here's the thing. Anastasia has actually been she's been like worried about me lately because I always do this when I sleep. I twitch.
oh
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that. I don't know if you've ever watched me sleep in our time together, but evidently I twitch. And lately it's been getting like bad. Like I twitch like I've been twitching like a lot
See, the only
lately.
time I've ever twitched is like when I'm about to fall asleep. It's like one of those weird things where like back when I was in like high school, I'd like sit there and like fall asleep like kind of like on a desk or some shit. And it's
Yeah.
like one of those things where like I'm about to like fall and then I twitch. That's the only times I've ever like actually like twitched.
I don't know. I don't know what causes it. She says that I like twitch and like sometimes I'll even do a full like kick in my sleep.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't know what causes it. I don't know if it's like a muscle thing, if like it's my muscles trying to relax or something like that because I'm moving all the time. Or I don't know what it is, but yeah, she says that I twitch like a lot. And here lately it's actually just gotten worse. So I don't know if it's I don't know if it's something I definitely need to go to a chiropractor, that's for damn sure. But
You need to
Todd,
find the
video
thing with a chiropractor. You need to find a good chiropractor.
I'm not gonna find one where I'm at.
Yeah, you're not honestly.
But anyway, Todd, video
Uh,
games. You were telling me just before something I was surprised to hear about. You were telling me just before we started recording that you've been playing Devil May Cry
yeah,
for the first time,
yeah,
starting from the beginning, huh? The
yep,
HD collection.
yep. I actually, so I was like on I was on place. It was actually like with like Devil May Cry 5. I was like, I never actually sat there and played the originals.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let's fucking do it. Let's see how much it.
The
Let's see
only one you played
the.
was the Ninja
Yeah,
Theory
yep.
DMC,
It's the
right?
only one I actually
Yeah.
played.
Wow.
So
That's crazy to me.
I
I mean,
mean,
how are you liking it?
I'm digging the shit out of it. Like, I've been having a lot of fun, and it's funny is like, I can't wait to see how the gameplay, like, smoothens out, because the first,
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
because
It's
like,
probably
holy
rough.
shit, the first game's pretty rough,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
still a lot of fun. I've been enjoying my time with it. I'm actually right at the end, basically. Like, probably once we're done recording, I might actually sit there and go finish the first one.
I was gonna ask you like how well it holds up after all these years because I haven't played that. I haven't revisited
I
that
mean,
game.
it is very much a old like PlayStation game.
I mean, that game's early 2000s.
Like, dude,
So
honestly, it's like, holy shit! Like, it has like those really like shitty like you go to a certain part of the area you're in, the camera completely shifts. I hate that. I've always
oh
hated
yeah,
that.
yeah, they didn't really figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
even
honestly though, like the fact that I've been able to sit there and play through it, I could say. I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm surprised I'm actually playing through an old game like this right now.
yeah. I mean, did they do a good job with the remaster? Like, does it look good?
I mean, it still looks like. I mean, it still looks like shit, but it's less shit.
Did they touch the cutscenes at all?
Um,
Like, are the cutscenes still all like weird and compressed? Because that's the thing that annoys me with some remasters is they'll do the actual gameplay graphics are touched up, and then the cutscenes are totally the
I
same.
like legit zone out the cutscenes, but I think they are still shit.
How are you finding? You already said gameplay is fun, but it's a little rough. How are you finding that deep lore, that good
Oh my
story?
god, I don't give a fuck. Like I actually like am I supposed to buy the whole like him caring for like the was it Trish right
Yeah,
now?
Trish is the
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
I get it. Like she's like made to look like his mom.
Yeah, Trish is a common thread throughout the
Yeah,
series.
I've always heard the name before, so
Yeah, that's not the last you'll see of Trish. No, don't know where he's there.
because again I
But
know like so like I know like vague snippets of like the games. And like, was it
right,
you're fighting one of the bosses? I'm like, I think I remember hearing that this guy is Virgil in this game,
right,
and
right.
yeah, whatever that was, like Nilo and whatever the fuck. Forget
Whatever the fuck it
forget the
is, I
name of
don't
the
know.
fucking boss, but whatever.
But
Uh,
it's what I really like about Devil May Cry more so. I don't, and I've said this before. Fuck the story. I don't care about the story, the characters, or whatever. For me, it's all about the vibe
mhm.
of Devil May Cry. Like it has such a cheeseball like '90s. It's playing that kind of like bad like late '90s, early 2000s like new metal,
Yeah, and
and
I dig it. That's the shit I dig.
I like that about
Yeah,
it. Yeah. The intro to Devil May Cry 3 is so perfect. Like it's like famously perfect because in Devil May Cry 3 like it opens up with like Dante's fighting off these like demons and the whole time he's just trying to get a slice of pizza in his mouth, you know? And like that's the shit I love. It's so corny, like I just like I live for that, and I think that's why a lot of people came into DMC and they're like, what the hell? It's like somewhat serious and it's got, a little bit more of a story focus to it, and I think people were turned off by that,
hmm
you know.
yeah.
So
Basically, I ended up jumped on and I bought the bundle, so I have 1 through 4 actually. So
okay.
the bundle came with Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, or whatever.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm gonna be.
How much was it?
It's like $40, basically like
That's
ten
not
bucks a
bad.
game.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I was like, yes, that's fine. And that's honestly, I've
Four
been having a
four
lot
is
of fun.
actually a really good game, Devil May Cry 4.
I'm
Like
looking forward to playing that one
I
because it's
feel
the
like
newest
I feel like
of the
people
DMC.
I'm not gonna say underrate, but I feel like people sort of like forget how good Devil May Cry 4 is.
Mm-hmm.
And like that game actually really like I was so hyped for that game before it came out, and I just remember picking it up day one. Um, Old friend of mine, Justin, we just plowed through that game in one sitting, and it completely delivered. I love that game. And five looks great.
I mean,
I've
shit.
watched that trailer several
Yeah,
times.
5 got me excited about it, and I've like never played the originals, so and now I am. So
I'm very like you said, I'm looking forward to seeing how five really like tightens up the gameplay. I mean, five already just from the little bits we've seen uh looks way more fast and fluid in terms of gameplay.
mhm.
Um very, very, very much looking forward to that. Nero is a cool character, and I'm glad that we're exploring Nero some more. It's Devil May Cry is cool, man. I'm glad you're getting into it. It's I don't know if I would have the time to go back and revisit all the old games as much as I would
Honestly,
love to.
the first game hasn't taken me that long to beat. I'm like, I
No, they're
think I'm,
short.
yeah,
They're short. They're all short.
yeah,
They're all. I mean, on the high end, you're talking 6 to 8 hours on the
yeah. Because
high
I
end.
think I'm like right at like 4.5 right now
Yeah.
on like the first one.
Yeah, like
So
5, 6, 7 hours, like that, like at the top of it. Even, even three and four, like you're talking, like maybe 6 to 7 hours. They're not long at all. And then, if you actually go back for, the game's supposed to be arcadey, it's like
yeah,
fun, fast. It actually encourages like multiple
yeah.
playthroughs. These games are never very long. I mean, even like the Bayonetta games are not long, you know. So yeah, these games are not like huge time investments. I just don't think I would even have I don't think I could even carve out 20 hours amongst
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
other stuff
I'm
I'm trying
kind
to
of in
do.
like a dead zone right now, so that's like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're playing another game I wanted to talk about in this episode, and maybe this is a good segue. Like we've been playing Sea of Thieves and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And I actually picked up the Xbox Game Pass on a hellacious sale. I got 6 months of it for $30 and was able to download and play Sea of Thieves and all of its expansions for free, or included in the price. In addition to like all these, first part I could play Halo 5, I could play Master Chief Collection, and I could play Gears 4 and stuff like that. Like all these games I could play, and I've just been playing it right here on my PC with you and our friend Tyler. And man, it's like it's been a blast. And I know you've talked a little bit about Sea of Thieves in the past, but now that we're playing it together, I kind of wanted to deep dive into it a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
no problem. Like, because I
No
think
pun intended, I guess.
I'll say this right now. I was talking to Tyler about this. I think Sea of Thieves had like a similar like kind of a similar problem as like No Man's Sky.
Very good pull there.
Be-
It reminds me so much of No Man's
It's just
Sky.
if you jump into Sea of Thieves or No Man's Sky and just enjoy what's there, you'll have fun.
Yeah. Here's the thing that is true about both No Man's Sky and Sea of Thieves. They are not games you play, they are places you go,
Yeah,
right? They're not like you don't come into Sea of Thieves or No Man's Sky with a clear, really objective or story that you're chasing down. You're just going there just to live in it, you know, just to exist in that world for a couple of hours. And yeah, there are things you can do, but like it's so freeform and it's so based on the fun you make out of it,
hmm
you know. I would sit there in No Man's Sky and I was like, you know what, today I'm just gonna fucking, I'm just gonna drill an enormous hole into the center of the ground, and
I've
just
done it.
just
I've
dumb
been there.
stuff like that. Just dumb shit. Um, and like in Sea of Thieves, it's like, hey, like they're doing this new event right now with the skeleton thrones and stuff like that. And it's like, hey, like let's sit here and chase down all these puzzles and and get some gold and up our fashion and stuff like that.
hmm
And man, it's a lot of fun. I do wish, my only real complaint, it is annoying that the only real rewards are aesthetic
Like,
rewards.
what? I am kind of with you on that. Like, what sort of like rewards do you think we should be able to get?
That's where I sort of struggle is I'm not sure what else they would do other than I think that maybe making gears stat based. outside of clothes. I don't think clothes should be stat based, but maybe give me a sword that does more damage. Give me, give me a better gun or something
See,
like that.
the reason they don't do that is like balancing issues and like people want it. Like I think
Here's the deal. There's already balancing issues
I know,
because if
I know.
somebody's that poor bastard that we found that was on a sloop, you know what I mean? If you're gonna get overpowered, you're gonna get
Yeah,
overpowered. And people who have spent more time in the game deserve to have better gear than I do.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I feel like it wouldn't be crazy to reward people with a better sword. Like I should not have the same sword and guns as somebody who has spent 100 hours with the game.
yeah. Because
You know?
that's the whole thing. Like everything does the same amount of damage no matter what. Just cosmetic skins. Like my issue with gear stats in general though is like in the beginning of like For Honor. In
Mm.
the beginning of For Honor, the gear stats were bad. Like if you were like low level, you'd get your ass whooped by high level like easily.
Well, I mean, there needs to be the gulf needs to be, manageable
Yeah,
because it's
there
like in
needs to be a
Battlefront.
balance with it, like, because that's what they ended up doing with For Honor. Like they balanced the gear stats out. Like it's really not that bad. Like,
Yeah,
on some real shit.
it's like in Battlefront. Like, and you and I have been playing a lot of Battlefront 2 lately, and it's like how it is in
Yeah, start
Battlefront,
with the
where
star cards, like
with the
level.
star cards, when somebody's got a purple star card, it's like okay, they have an advantage, but it is not.
It's nothing
It's not
crazy.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's not ridiculous, and I think they should do something with that in Sea of Thieves. Another idea that I had was even outside of like gear stats and stuff like damage and defense and all that shit. Um, they could even have like skill trees, like leveling up and stuff like that,
Ooh,
and give me maybe I am a better, maybe I wanted to put points into a skill where I'm better at driving the ship than you are.
so maybe like
Where
the wheel actually turns faster or
the
some shit.
wheel moves easier, or
Oh, see,
maybe I have the skill, I'm the only one that can interact with the map, or I repair the ship faster, or I can move faster while holding the cannonballs or the
on
treasure
some real
chests.
shit, that would open up so much depth to the game.
Yeah, well, and it would be assigned roles. It would be
Yeah,
like, hey, hey Todd, we need you today because we need somebody who can quickly move with the treasure chest when we're doing the
yeah.
skeleton fort or whatever. So like it would be nice to see something like that, and I think it would give the games a little bit of added depth that is not currently there.
Hmm.
And as it stands, I mean, look, it's fun. The game as it is, it's fun to just dick around. You know, I think that's what the game does very well. Is it presents you a fun world to live in. You know,
I think we need to shout out the story with the
which one with the solo guy
the motherfucker. No, that
or the fart,
motherfucker. That farted.
the fart guy. Yeah, so they added. I guess this mechanic was not in the game previously.
Yeah, the
Is that
speaking horn.
right? Yeah, I don't know. Well, so were they using the
I
speaking
don't
horn, or
know,
did they
dude.
just
I
have
don't know if
their?
like we were just like near them, but
I
either
don't
way, it
know.
was hilarious.
We go up to this island where because we had the only kind of raw goal we had in mind was we were going to find these skeleton thrones, and essentially all it is, it's just it's an event that Sea of Thieves has going on right now where you can jump on. There are riddles that are involved with finding these skeleton thrones.
Yeah,
You seek out the
there's 10 each. So you have
yeah.
five that you can just sit by yourself, and then there's another five where you actually have to have another crew. And what I actually
Yeah.
realized, you only need one person from each crew.
Right. Yeah, I think you told me about
Yeah,
that. Yeah, so they have these things, and you just go and you find them and you sit on them, and you unlock a little commendation, and you get like a certain currency that you can either trade in for standard gold or use to buy like exclusive
yeah,
gear and stuff like that. And it's cool, it's nice because it kind of like what I like about it is it's it's the type of event that Sea of Thieves needed, where it's like Sea of Thieves is a place, like I said, it's not a game you play, it's a place you go. So having events like this that encourage exploration, I think are very, very good for Sea of Thieves. It encourages you to go out and solve riddles as a team and and explore these islands. Um, and it's just it's nice too because it rewards you for your knowledge of the map because there'll be a puzzle that says something about the ledge and the devil and shit like that, and you're like, oh, it's the Devil's Ledge
Yeah.
Island or whatever. So if you're knowledgeable about the game and the locations, you are rewarded for that knowledge too. So anyway, long story short, we're looking for these skeletal thrones, and we come up on this island that we suspected that one was at. And as we got closer, we started to hear these other guys, this other crew. It was like two guys that were talking. And as we got closer, we hear one of them just go, and we don't have our mics on, so we're just talking as a group in chat. They can't hear us, but we can hear them, and they're like, oh, I really got to fart right now. And then like we're just kind of laughing at the fact that this dude's openly talking about him farting. And then after about like 30 seconds go by, you just hear.
Like even if it was just a dude fucking with us, that shit was hilarious.
It was pretty good. Just the
Yeah.
the payoff for the statement was good.
Hmm.
And then we found this, because we were looking for somebody to help us with this skeleton throne that was like a group one. We needed somebody else to sit on the throne with us. And we're sitting there like idiots, just like yelling into our megaphones, looking for somebody, anybody, to come and help us. And finally, we see this little lone guy in a sloop. I don't know if he just didn't hear us or what, but he like sailed right by us to this other island in the distance. And we all said, no, fuck that. He's going to help us, basically. And we all jumped into our galleon and like followed him to the island and basically cornered him. And the poor guy, you
Instantly
actually made
scuttled
the
his
comment.
ship.
Yeah, he scuttled his ship after we boarded his ship to say hi. And the poor guy scuttles his ship, and Todd's like, this man's been hurt before.
Oh, he definitely has. Like it's just like, well, that's the thing, man. Like nobody, like everybody's too used to the old days of Sea of Thieves, where motherfuckers are getting rocked, getting destroyed.
Yeah,
Like we're living in a different time on the Sea of Thieves.
we're sailing a different sea these
Because
days.
like right now, it's like all about the cult, like working together and like actually doing all that shit. Because like
Yeah,
even when like we were helping out, I think I don't know if I told the story. I told the story to you, but I don't know if I was telling it on the podcast. Is where we were helping these people out of the Kraken. The Kraken is the whole thing. You need to like kind of sell out of it. You need to damage the
right.
Kraken enough to sell out of it. And it was a fucking leapfrog, dude. It was like we were in there. A ship helped us out. That ship got caught. We helped them out. And then another one, a sloop. So I shot myself. Me and Tyler, we all shot ourselves onto the sloop.
Mm.
And the moment I walked on the ship, I was getting attacked. I'm like, hey, hey, hey. I'm here to help
Because
you.
they assumed that you were
Yeah.
on there to attack. Yeah, yeah. It's funny too because there's like that skull fort or skeleton fort or whatever we did. Like that was fun. Like just there's a lot of like fun things you can do, and I like the I kind of like. I remember you were telling me like, oh man, like once you go sloop, you're not going to go back. Basically, like it's so much easier
Oh, dude.
and faster, to be in a sloop. But I also at the same time I kind of like the teamwork required to.
I will give you that. Like the galleon, the fact that you have to like actually like really work together to sail the ship is awesome.
Right.
But I'm telling you,
I
man, like
like that.
I think one of these times when we're both free, we'll have to jump on and like fuck around with the sloop.
It definitely needs to be a game that we stream, and I know we didn't want to stream it early on because I was still pretty new to the game,
Yeah.
so the first like hour of the stream would have been like, how do I
Yeah, I
drop
think
the
honestly,
anchor?
like maybe I think next time we actually play, we'll definitely stream it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun stream game because it's just like
It's chill,
just
dude. It's
chill.
relaxing.
It's chill. Yeah, I really like it a lot. I actually am surprised, and the game runs like a dream on my computer, and it's
Hmm.
so like it's such a low ask like power
Oh,
wise.
dude.
I'm literally running it on the highest settings, and it's running like butter. And I
Exactly,
don't
dude. I run that shit on like mythical or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and like I'm not running. I don't have some monster
Yeah.
machine on my hands. It's fine for what it is, but like the fact that it can take that game and just crush it is impressive from Rare's perspective. That they got the game running like that on a potato basically. Because you could run that game on low on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
You know, um, just an impressive. I'm impressed with the game, and I'm glad that they're turning it around with these little events, and they're going to have consistent expansions. I think their goal is to have a new expansion every few months or something
Yeah, they
like that.
basically have like three teams like leapfrogging, basically.
Right. Like you're working on this expansion while the
So
other
honestly, what
team's
I'm really
working on,
looking forward to is the team that worked on the first one because they have the most time right now to actually
Right.
like come out with something special.
Right. I'm looking forward to seeing where the game goes and how it evolves. I really do hope that we get some significant changes with these expansions, beyond just the, like expand on it, expand on the game, give people, I think people really want a reason to start to come back rather than it just being a chat room, you know? Because right now that's kind of what it is. It's a really fun chat room and I like existing in it. But it's basically just like a chill hangout kind of game like No Man's Sky is.
Yeah, that's actually
Not that
something
there's
I'm looking forward to is the co-op No Man's Sky update.
Yeah, that's why I think it was smart of them to lean into that with No Man's Sky because they realized like this is the kind of game that that you could just live in,
Hmm.
and I think that No Man's Sky is really going to benefit from that. It
Oh, it
makes me
definitely
want to
will.
jump back into it. I played the shit out of No Man's Sky when it first came out. I put like 60 hours into that game.
Hmm.
And I just lived in that world. I platinumed it. I just lived in that world for a while and fell off of it because ultimately there was nothing else for me to do. So I'm hoping that Sea of Thieves, like I don't want to get to the point with Sea of Thieves where I'm just like after, 30, 40, 50 hours, I've just seen all there is to see and I'm just
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm good. Like I want them to keep expanding on it and give me, put that carrot on the end of the stick for me and just give me reasons to keep coming back
So actually,
long
one of the things
after.
I'm really looking forward to, it does seem like in one of the next updates, we're going to be getting like PVE like pirate crews, where
Good.
they're like skeleton crews. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Like I'm down for that. Like that'll add like because that'll add the ship combat back. Because like, again, the ship combat's been kind of dead ever since, at least for since I've been playing for the last couple
Now
weeks.
what now what do you mean by skeleton crew? Do you mean like
Like
like they're gonna
legit,
have
I think they're going to be skeleton manned pirate ships like going
oh, I
around.
see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay. That would be cool.
Because like
Yeah, that would be
I
legit.
think that's going to be something like I was like I think that might be the cursed sails update
Right.
where it does seem like they're going to be adding like some PVE like skeleton crew like manned pirate ships. I think
I
that's going
hope
to
they
be
don't get annoying with that though.
what
Like I hope they don't get annoying
I'm
with
hoping
that.
they're not like something you run into frequently. Like it'd be cool if it's like oh shit, let me take this one out real quick. I don't want to be sitting there fighting like five of these motherfuckers.
Well, what they should do is like it reminds me of like after we did that skeleton for it, right? And we're sitting there for like a fucking like hour getting this thing done, and got so much
Mm-hmm.
money out of it, like a
Mm-hmm.
asinine, like
It's
over twenty
yeah, that
thousand
shit's worth
gold.
it. It's always worth.
And I think Tyler was even saying, I think this is the biggest haul we've ever taken. You know, um, but like we spent like a solid hour just sitting there doing that, and it was well worth it. But afterwards, he said he was like, man, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we saw Kraken.
Yep.
You know,
That is something. Like I think there is like something in like the AI of like the way the Kraken works to
right?
where like if somebody
Well,
does a skeleton for it, it's going to be around that area.
well. So what I'm wondering is a way that you could make it, I guess, not annoying is make it a risk reward thing where it's like, okay, if you are carrying a lot of booty, if you got a lot of junk in your trunk, you're going to, you're going to have a higher
They're going to
chance of
be
running
more
into one of
honed in
these
on you.
skeletons.
That'd be cool.
They're going to be hunting you because they want to take your booty. you know,
Swiggity swooty coming
um,
for that.
yeah, exactly. So.
Oh.
I think that would be a cool way to do it rather than just like randomly bumping into him
Yeah.
because it was a cool vibe because like when we stopped at that skeleton fort, Tyler was like, all right, you hang back and snipe and let's make sure all the cannons are loaded and shit like that. It was cool. Like the game's fun. Like I do enjoy the game. I just want them, it's like Destiny. Like it's one of those things like, okay, I love what you got, just keep me here.
Yep.
Like it's your job to keep me here,
Hmm.
you know. So I'm looking forward to playing more. Honestly, dude, I think that might be it for us this
Yeah, I
week.
can
Unless you
honestly
wanted to talk
talk
about
about some
something
other
else.
shit, like, but I might save it for the next episode.
Yeah, save it for the next episode. I was thinking, so I've actually been watching Anastasia. This is funny 'cause it's like the best game that I'm not actually playing.
Oh,
I've been watching Anastasia
Detroit.
play Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I'll talk about it more in detail maybe next week, maybe after she's beaten it, because I think she's pretty close to the end.
yeah.
But holy shit, that game's good. Man, that's a good game. Like it's actually entertaining to watch because like it's normally it's like kind of boring to watch somebody play a game, but like it's like actually really fun to watch just from a
Mhm.
narrative perspective. Just like man, this is just an excellent story. I guess just a preview. Like if you like this type of game, like this is so much better than anything Quantic Dream has done. I loved Heavy Rain. This is way better than Heavy Rain. Like way better. It's like no contest. But anyway, I'll talk about that more next week. Did you want to talk about anything before we put a bow on
No, I'm gonna
this?
save it for the next episode.
All right, cool. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.